A very good morning to you from WeatherTech Raceway, the legendary Laguna Seca, as we get ready for the final American round of Ferrari Challenge North America. Of course, the drivers still to head over the Atlantic to the finale Mondiali in October. The big Italian race where all the top drivers from all the top Ferrari Challenge Series get together for an end-of-season celebration. But we, as I say, have one last weekend here in the US of A to gather as many points as we can in those championship fights as we head towards the end of the season. Look at that. That's the weather over Laguna Seca right now. We started the season in California at Sonoma Raceway, so it's pretty fitting that we finish it here in California at Laguna Seca. In the meantime, Daytona, Miami, Indianapolis, Watkins Glen, a fantastic mix of ovals and beautiful rolling hill roller coaster type tracks, and this is definitely one of those. Looking forward to the weekend's action. I say Mugello then at the end of the season, October 21st to 26th for the finale Mondiali. Let's take a look at the track here. It is legendary, as we say, as a reason for that, particularly the corkscrew, which is almost vertical, it seems, when you're standing next to it. Turns 7, 8 and 8A, as they're known, left-hand side of your screen there. It drops downhill. Some incredible races here across all the various different categories at the very top of motorsport. I've been to this brilliant venue, and it's fantastic the Ferrari Challenge is here as well. It's a bit cloudy and chilly out there right now. We had some kind of drizzly conditions yesterday. It's more of a sea mist, really, and you can see here what it looks like. 25-degree track temperature, air temperature 17, humidity 85%. Does feel just that little bit damp and cool out there, so conditions are fairly good to go qualifying, and we might see some extra tyre life as a result of those temperatures being a bit lower. My name's Andrew Coley. I'll be guiding you through the weekend. Joining me in the booth is the legend, Tony Villander.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Yeah, very good. Happy to be here. I was surprised to hear that it's first time for you here in Laguna
Yeah, it
Seca.
is. Yeah, I've been really lucky this year. First time with Ferrari Challenge, and I've been in motorsport for 25 years, but 6 brand new tracks for me this year. I have to say, I think this might be my favourite, but I need to see some racing on it first. I do enjoy tracks with elevation change. It was wonderful to go to Indianapolis and Daytona and see the big ovals, obviously, coming from the other side of the pond to see those tracks is amazing. But I do enjoy a proper road course with some elevation change, and we've had plenty of that with Sonoma, Watkins and here. Just absolutely amazing. Nina Jade, Paul, is down in pit lane. She is on our team as well. Nina Jade, good morning. How's it going?
Good morning, Andrew. How are you? Down in the pit lane here at Laguna Seca. It's my first time here as well. Such a legendary circuit for what will be our final Ferrari Challenge weekend here in the USA before the season moves to Mugello for the finale Mondiali next month. Now, this track is legendary. It's famous for its twists, elevation changes, and of course that legendary corkscrew that everyone talks about. It's a real test for both driver and machine, but these Ferrari 296 Challenge cars will absolutely shine here. Their balance and responsiveness makes it perfect for this circuit. Now, it is a little chilly, like you said, Andrew, on track, but sunny intervals throughout the day. We should be in for a fast and competitive session. What I will say is the layout here is a little bit tricky, so qualifying here will be absolutely key, especially for those who are in a championship battle, which we'll talk about a bit later. Not long now until we get going. Throwing it back up to you guys.
Thank you, Nina Jade. Fantastic to see you here in California again, end of the season. We've had a great year working together. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching it from home and indeed from Casa Ferrari as well. Beautiful location for Casa Ferrari here this weekend, just on the outside of Turn 3. We saw somebody go off this morning while we were eating breakfast. Actually, nearly got dust in my omelette, Tony.
Yeah, this is a bit tricky track. You have more or less a single racing line. Grip varies a lot depending on the temperature, the tire life. You have underneath your race car normally a huge improvement with new set of tires. Also, the track temp right now is a bit cooler, so normally that provides here in Laguna Seca really fast lap times. We had Club GT just on track, so the conditions should be perfect. And we've seen some mistakes from the drivers, like you said, a few offs already we spotted from Casa Ferrari. But that's the thing here in Laguna Seca. If you go a little bit off the racing line, the dirt and the dust, and you have less grip, and then you end up spinning on the gravel.
And that's why what Nina Jane said is absolutely key, isn't it? You do need to qualify well, because passing here, if you get offline, it's slippery.
Yeah, it's not an easy task. Obviously, you can overtake here, but it takes a little bit more determination. It takes a little bit more. Sometimes even some door banging. You see some contacts on this track. Very driver demanding driver, demanding places just before corkscrew, these corners that you really need to carry a lot of speed going up the hill towards the corkscrew. Beautiful images we're seeing right now, and not an easy place, corkscrew. You don't see the entry at all. Suddenly the track disappears, you drops to the left and then to the right, and actually the momentum continues all the way to turn 11, which turn 9, which is really fast left-hander, where you feel the car squeezing down because there is a little bit of the corner is a little bit banked, yeah, it takes a lot of momentum, but also you need to be really with a lot of courage.
Yeah, sure.
To be on it.
I talked to a number of the drivers yesterday who haven't been in before, or maybe only been in it once, and obviously they all named the corkscrew as the place. It's blind on the braking, it's blind on the turning, and if you can apply some pressure to somebody, that's definitely going to be somewhere you can make up some time and potentially make a pass. Tony, I know you've done the business in the corkscrew before, haven't you?
Yeah, a few moments back in the ALMS days, fighting Ferrari against Porsche, and some contacts with Jörg Bergmeister, who was also our main rival in many occasions, and good memories. Sometimes Bergmeister sends me those pictures.
Does he really?
Yeah, Christmas or Happy New Year, side by side.
Oh, that's brilliant.
15 years ago, but
twitchiness straight away, you can see just moving around a little bit. It's Gutierrez, who was just a little twitch on the way in, and that's as the tyres come up to temperature and everything gets itself sorted. That is turn 6 you're looking at, then onto the Rahal Straight, which is the run up to the corkscrew. You'll see that from the outside first. Here it is, and then you can watch them dropping in. So what the novice drivers were saying to me yesterday, a few of them were like, it's A, getting the brakes right, then the turning point, then some of them were saying, as you turn to the right, if you turn in too soon, you're almost falling, and they said you crash the car down really hard, so you don't want to be completely to the right, then you've got to get to the right for the left-hander at turn 9, rainy curve, so it is really tricky.
Yeah, they resurfaced the track a few years back, so that improved a little bit the tire life, tire wear, which was more critical before, but when they resurfaced, they also did the track a bit wider. You can see those green areas at the exit of the corners. Those were not there before. So let's say a little help for the drivers to stay on the black stuff. But still, when you drop a wheel here, then it gets really tricky. Also for the tires, you really need to build up the temperatures once again. And when you feel the new tire coming in, then it's the time to really go for the lap time.
Brad Fowler, you can see at the front of these two in the 66. Behind him in the 28 is Joe Rubbo.
Yeah, Fowler was really fast in the practice. One of the Pirelli AM reference lap times from the practice sessions, at least what I notice, is 1:23.4. So that's a good reference time. Right now, 1:27. So we are a little bit off from the fastest lap times of the practice sessions.
Yeah, don't forget Fowler as well is your championship leader at the moment with 5 wins and a P2. 300 points to the 275 of Sebastian Mascaro, who has just popped up on the timing screen down in P12, so he must be on one of his warm-up laps. Not a bad idea to wait and let everyone get cracking at the start of the session, but you have only got 12 minutes to get the job done. You know, you can't be warming up for too long.
Yeah, but I still love the system that we have for each category, their own qualifying. So you have a high probability, high chance of getting your free lap. Qualifying, I would always want to see drivers really showing their true performance, not being blocked by the other drivers or too much traffic on track. So this system is really designed for our Ferrari Challenge drivers to help everybody to get the chance to show their true speed.
Yeah, fantastic. Bruce Cleveland coming through the final corner. Seen some action there over the years, haven't we? Yeah, and there is some of that extra green runoff that Tony was talking about, just giving you a little bit more space. This is down towards turn 1, so it's kind of a flat left into a hairpin left. So the car is already loaded as you come in there, and you trail braking, trying not to lock the front. Then you get rotate. People saying there's new tarmac as well, a bit of a patchwork, and you can then get the front end hooked up a bit more than you wanted.
Yes, those patches, the grip level varies a lot, and you can also improve during the practice sessions the right rhythm between braking, turning, rotation, and then going back on throttle. Going here, let's say it is turn 2 on the track, but for me it's almost turn 1. Really late braking, almost you lose the apex, or you close a bit early, then you open again the racing line and double apex, then tight at the exit again. An important thing is not to arrive too short in the braking, which then you mess up the whole rhythm of going through sequence of turn 2 and then carrying the rhythm turn 3.
That is Mathes onto the front straight. Underneath the bridge there, green flags. You're seeing all the marshals with hoodies and jackets on. It's a very different weather than we've had for the majority of the season. Even Sonoma back in March, it was beautiful and green then, but it was definitely a bit warmer than this.
Yeah, you can see perfectly in the racing line. Tight entry, turn 2, then you go a bit wider, make the rotation, and have a good exit coming out of turn 2.
Mathes was quickest for a moment, but Logan now goes to the top of the 124.3. This is Michael Porter. Sorry, it was Michael Porter. We've moved on already. It is Michael Porter. Yes, there he is. So we have 4 minutes remaining in this session. At the minute, Logan leads from Favre, Mathes, Pan, and Gutierrez are your top 5. There is 0.5 of a second across those 5 drivers. No incidents so far, all good. Drop a wheel out on that dirt and you're definitely going round, aren't you? It's not somewhere you can afford to run wide.
Yeah, it's better to stay on track. Also on the technical side, demanding track for the ride height, how to set up the race car because of the corkscrew, because of the corners that where you have a high compression, the car really wants to go and touch the ground and you need to set up the car perfectly and design for this track. So this track requires something different compared to Daytona, other tracks, so this has some character.
A lot of the drivers were here a couple of weeks ago, weren't they, for a test? There was an official test session prior, of course, to the testing which they're doing the run-up to the weekend, so they're here for a few days before the race weekend where they can get some practice in, but I say a big official test. I think we haven't had one separate to a race weekend since Sonoma. So extra track time for those people, even those that haven't been here. Esteban Beckman goes to the top of the table ahead of Porter and Mathes with 3.5 minutes. Now Pan and Favre. So people are going quicker and quicker up at the top. Where's Mascaro? Sebastian Mascaro is still down in P19. He's second in the standings.
A very fast lap time for our leader right now, Pan, who had 123.4. So let's see Ray Acosta's response to Pan's P1 lap time.
He's pushing hard here. You can see Acosta, the attitude in the car the whole way down the hill. What can he do as he comes up over the line? Acosta going to trip the timing line now. P2, 0.3 of a second off. You can see it in the attitude in the car that he's got it by the scruff of the neck and he's hustling. He's getting after it.
Yeah, he has a lot of confidence, braking really late into the corners. These 3 drivers running into a bit of a traffic. Normally qualifying on tracks like this, you would like to do it ideally alone. Let's hope no contact between these 2 drivers. Whoa!
Locked wheel almost off to the side, manages to gather it up just before hitting the wall.
And this is what happens when you have another driver in front of you, car number 88.
I can't see on the timing screen.
It's
Eric Pan. Yeah, it's Eric Pan.
Yeah, he ran into a traffic, was still on a fast lap.
So these 2 over the line now. Let's see whether our championship leader can go back to the top of the table or not. Brad Favre moves to P2. He's only a 10th of a second off. 2 minutes 6. Let's take a look at a replay from up at the corkscrew just a few moments ago. This was Eric Pan in the white car, so he's come in hot. Look.
Whoa.
Wow, he's done well there, to be fair.
Yeah, he was carrying a lot of speed through 8 and 8A and then just lost the rear of the car a bit. And then obviously having another car so close in front of him was a close call, close moment.
Sebastian Mascaro's moved up to P7, so that's much better for the P2 man in the standings. This is Omar Balkasun. Saw the livery on the car yesterday, very cool. Go on board with Matty GL. You can hear the wastegate there as he comes down into the hairpin. Pick the throttle up through here. That's the final corner. It's just a little more open the hairpin, but only just. And where does DL go? Last lap was a 124.7, so that's just a tenth of a second. Oh, no, 1:24.689. So that was his best lap on his last lap. That's good. Kuras Venceslavas coming onto the start-finish straight with the familiar colour scheme. And lots of drivers now onto their last laps. He'll get one more in with 38 seconds remaining on the clock. Eric Pan, who had the big moment up at the corkscrew, still holds that P1 position from Brad Fowler. How are you feeling about tyres here, Tony? Temperatures are low. Abrasiveness is better than it was before the track here was resurfaced. Do you think you can do a lap this late in the session?
I think so, yes.
Oh, you can, because Eric Pan's just done his quickest lap, 1:23.4, just as we said.
Yeah, and also some of the drivers are a little bit off sequence, going for their fast laps a bit later. Ray Acosta, one of the drivers that is still on a fast lap, running into a bit of a traffic. And every track have a little bit different story regarding tire life and also performance. So as a driver in qualifying, you just keep going until you feel like the best from the tires is gone. So until you keep improving, you keep trying and continue to push for another lap. And once you feel that the grip is not there anymore, then you back off.
And that's what Acosta's doing now. So Acosta was pretty much, this is Mascaro in the black and gold, hoping to improve, but caught in traffic as well. But Ray Acosta behind him is the final driver, I think, who's on a push lap, because he crossed the line with about 7 seconds to go. Or was certainly in turn 1 around then. He won't want to catch up with these two in front of him. Where's Mascaro now? Mascaro's dropped to P9. Will have wanted some clear air here to try and get away. Down through the corkscrew, Ray Acosta looking to try and improve on P3. I say he's right up there. Eric Pan looks like he hasn't taken the checker. I wonder if Pan's pitted after that moment. 1:23.4, that was his last lap. He might be on a flyer too. Now Ray Acosta could get balked here right at the end of the lap, coming down to the final corner, late on the brakes. He's lucky, everybody. He's very gentlemanly and moves out of the way. Has Acosta got it in him on the last lap? Mascaro in front, P9 as well, crossing the line. Does Mascaro improve? He does not. And Ray Acosta too remains in P3.
Yeah, Ray wasn't able to improve his lap time. Half a second slower than his personal best.
We're on board with Matthew DL at the end of the session now. He's just cruising round. Up in 5th gear through the corkscrew. He's rolled off completely as he brings the car back. Now this gives you a great idea of the elevation change. When you're on board and you can't see from the top of the screen, you can't see any sky, you can't see any barriers, you know it's steep, and that whole downhill section is. And downhill, to be quick downhill, takes quite a bit of bravery.
Yeah, the whole section after the corkscrew is the ones that take the most bravery out of the drivers. Also, the elevation change really doesn't show on the TV images. You need to go next to the track and see you coming up the hill towards the corkscrew, and then here it starts to drop down.
That's a wonderful shot, isn't it, in the background there, where you see Acosta coming up over the crest. That is a proper... Drones are brilliant for seeing elevation, aren't they? That's the one thing that's improved, I think, massively. Look at this. We stood up there yesterday. You can hear the wheel spin right where Acosta is now as they come over that crest. You can actually see the black rubber along the curb. Fantastic. Fantastic. Misty, cloudy background. We're just around 15 minutes from the coast, 4 or 5 miles inland. You can get fog here pretty regularly. This morning I say it's cool, but it is dry. And we're about to send out our Pirelli drivers on track. You're looking at Dylan Medler, last year's champion. And we're very much looking forward to the return this weekend as well of Johnny Kaminsky. So Kaminsky couldn't race last time out at Watkins Glen because the track is owned, I believe, by NASCAR, and they have a rule which means that he can't race as a 16-year-old. So he had to miss the round. So he was there with the team. He went and did team things. I saw him yesterday in Casa Ferrari. He's like, you know what? It was a great learning experience. And it is, because he's such a nice kid. And he will have seen the hard work that goes in the backgrounds. When you're out in the car, you don't necessarily see that. He'll see the rushing round. He'll see people, hurting knuckles and bending, busting knees and things, fixing cars quickly, getting things ready for you, the driver, who's the focus of the team. And I think it's great that he still went to the event and got stuck in as a team member. I think it's really important.
Yeah, I could have borrowed my ID. Johnny. I don't know if that would have worked. But
hi, I'm Tony Belanda. He would have needed to do a good false Finnish accent as well.
Fake ID.
Yeah, that would have been good. I think they might have spotted the difference, Tony. I mean, you do look good for your age, but Johnny is only 16, so I think they may have clocked it. But Well, you do look good for your age, mate. Kaminsky is at the back of the pit lane there. You can see the white car with the Dayglow rims on it. Really easy to spot. Tony Davies is sitting in P2 in pit lane here behind Dylan Medler. Another car with some Dayglow on it. Yes, all four are good livery. Stick some Dayglow on there. Get amongst it. Perina.
Yeah, Perina's reference lap time 1:22.6 in the practice sessions, and our Pirelli AM drivers confirmed that the track is as fast as it was in the practice.
Great work from our camera people down here. Look at this, lovely following the lines of the Ferraris. You can see some of the damage down the side of the cars. Amazing. Now somebody else who's down there, of course, is Nina Jade, and she's with Eric Pan, our pole sitter from Pirelli AM.
Eric Pan, pole at Laguna Seca. Talk us through that. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. It wasn't a clean lap, but got the job done, so yeah.
Talk us through the lap. Where do you think you found the time?
I don't know. It wasn't like I said, it wasn't a clean lap. I felt like there's at least 2:10, 3:10 out there, but unfortunately there's people in this class that's about 2 seconds slower than you, so you get in traffic real quickly. So, but I mean, got a job done pretty good, yeah.
How are you feeling about the race?
We'll see. Hopefully no yellow flag or red flags and have a clean race. Hopefully we can bring the P1 home and then, just go from there, yeah.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
So Eric's not been with us actually since the start of the season. He took a pole position in Sonoma and a P2 and a P3 there. Good to have him back in the class. You can sense a bit of frustration there. If you want to be in with the quick guys, then he's probably got to get himself graduated up to Pirelli. But of course, if he's only able to race a few times a year, that's tricky. It's a great performance when he's been out of the series to come back and take pole when these guys are all have all been sitting in the car all season.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of skill, but also patience in qualifying to find the right space, to have at least one clean lap at the right time. Sometimes things change, cars go a bit slower. I do understand the frustration, but in the end he was P1, so must be happy for his performance and looking forward to the race.
Yeah, all good, isn't it? All good. Look at this. Perina on the back of Medler, slots up the inside, wants clear track in front. Is Medler going to go with him?
Yeah, it looked almost like Dylan wanted
to let him go.
Yeah, to let him go and then trying to maybe find something that he was missing in the practice. Massimo was really fast, so let's see how this qualifying for the Pirelli plays out. Normally Massimo 1-2 warm-up laps and then one lap, bang, and then he goes P1.
They're weaving still, aren't they, on lap 2, so we know the tyres aren't up to temperature, particularly on a day like today. It really is cool here today.
This is the thing with the experience. Our Pirelli drivers are the fastest drivers of our 4 categories normally. So also regarding tires, when you feel that the grip is not there, there's no reason to overcook the tires or try too much, because then the surface of the tire is already overheating when you have the right pressure inside the tire. So it's a combination of those two things, and that's why Pirelli drivers maybe have a little bit of patience to warm up everything, and then in one lap they get the maximum performance.
Yeah, indeed. Don't want any graining or anything, do they? Just get the car set up and ready to go. That's Jason McCarthy. Still weaving on the run up the hill as well, so just easing the temperature into those Pirellis, as Tony so beautifully described, and then ready for the push lap. Now, these guys will notice the difference. The very top drivers will notice the drop-off in the tyres if it happens, because, as I say, with the temperatures lower, we have seen people getting great qualifying laps later in the session, but as a general rule, there's a couple of really hot laps in the boots, aren't there? And it will be these guys who will need to exploit that to get the perfect lap time. They will look, Eric Pan said, didn't he, there's another 3/10 out there. These guys will find the 3/10 immediately if they can. But you make a mistake and you lose a lap, and if you've only got 3 good laps in when you're at this level, you need the peak tyre on the right lap.
Let's see now, Massimo. I think he's on his first fast lap right now. Let's see.
Yeah, I think so too. Into the second apex and across now in front of Casa Ferrari, the right-hander at turn 3.
A little bit of oversteer turning into turn 3.
Yeah, he's
still not.
bailed, isn't he?
Yeah, still not. The tires are not ready.
He's bailed on the lap there, definitely.
Yeah, same thing for Dylan Medler. Beautiful livery his car number 15. He's still waiting for tire temps and grip to be there to go for a fast lap.
So Kaminsky does a 1:27.1 as his first flying lap. Glad to see him back in the car. He was really happy with his pace here. Car looks a bit twitchy on the exit of turn 2 into 3. That's Brian Cook. I think another thing to remember, Tony, is they do have to use these tyres later in the day for the race. So it is about how you manage the set of Pirellis for the day.
Yeah, that is correct. So normally I would say two flying laps when the tires are ready, and then you park the car. These drivers with a little bit more experience, they need less laps to prepare themselves, and they are ready when the car and the tires are ready. So we saw Perina touching the inside curb through turn 4. You need to be careful also those areas. There's the yellow part at the inside curb, which is a higher and launches the car up in the air. This is the area before going into corkscrew, going really uphill, using all the track at the exit.
Yeah, Perina now having set a one. Kaminsky goes quickest 1:24.6. I was just about to say Perina's done the quickest lap, but this will be Perina's first proper push lap, I think. So we'll see. What was the time that you said from practice?
1:22.6.
Okay, so a little way. Do you think that's possible in these conditions, or is it not warm enough?
I mean, Pirelli Ambo was still another oversteer from Perina. So the handling and the setup of the car is still not up there because the car is a bit loose in the rear.
Is there an element here that you've only got 12 minutes? Remember, the race distance is half an hour. You know, if the race set up where you want the car to work for 30 minutes might not work quite so efficiently in a 12-minute, relatively cool qualifying session.
Yeah, I mean, normally you can change the setup a little bit going into the race, and normally it depends what you learn in the practice and how you feel, which axle, which tires are giving up still some movement under braking.
Yeah, I saw that in turn 1 as well.
Yeah, it doesn't look really stable.
Perina went quicker, and then Medler's gone quicker again. You're with Medler now. So Kaminsky's dropped from P1 to P5. Roberto Perina has gone in as well. And also Ethan McWilliams. And out onto the dirt on the outside. So Medler is using all the track here. He'd love to take a pole. Remember, Massimo Perina has really done the most amazing job in qualifying this year. It's 8 pole positions out of the 10 so far. He only missed pole once in Daytona and once in Miami. The last 5 pole positions in a row and the win and the fastest lap have gone to Massimo Perina. So Medler here is desperate to break that stranglehold. And I get it. Psychologically, he wants to beat him in quali.
Yeah, we saw Perina's lap was still not perfect. He goes up to P2. But still, like the tire pressure related thing, maybe the tire pressure a bit too low, and he doesn't have enough lateral grip
to get it done. Yeah, Roberto Perina's gone quickest now. You're watching Brian Cook, who moves up from P7 up to P5. Now Massimo Perina, 1:22.7. Now we're talking, that's just a 10th off his reference time, and that's a good lap.
Yeah, this is in line with the speed he had in practice. It took a little bit more time, lap 5, at least 3 flyers, but still the car is loose, so he has to battle the steering wheel a bit more. Maybe this way he has more precise front end. He can have a more entry speed, but he needs to be careful not to slide too much those rear tires.
Does indeed. Beautifully done. When the car is twitchy and you're still getting it done. Look at this again, leaning on it, using all the road on the outside and still the rear moving around. Kaminsky's down in P8 now. Kaminsky needs a really good lap. He's only got 3:30 to go, and yesterday he was only a few tenths off. So Kaminsky, what's he going to do this time? Crosses over the line, up to P4. That's more like it. We'd expect him to be on the front 2 rows. That's where he was before he wasn't in Watkins Glen, as I say. And he's got maybe 2 more attempts he could get in. No, maybe 3. He could maybe get 3 more in, but that's if there's still life in the tyres for that ultimate hot lap.
And let's say Dylan's lap is coming towards the last corner. He's half a second off from Massimo Perina's P1.
Here he comes over the line then, Medler. 0.495 was the gap. What is it now? Any quicker? Yes, 0.352. So he takes a tenth and a half off it, but not enough to move up another position. Needs to find 500ths to get on the front row with Perina, which is what he'd really like to do, because if Massimo and his uncle Roberto are on the front row, it's going to be hard to grab control from them. We saw it, Seattle. Ferrari of Seattle 1-2-3 in Watkins Glen. Amazing performance by them. Seattle Sweep, it was nicknamed by Shay Adam, who was sitting next to me at that weekend. And thank you, Shay, for your message as well. Much appreciated. Got a lovely message from Shay this morning. Kaminsky. A red flag. Kaminsky going to come over the line. This will be the final moments of the session. He doesn't go any quicker, and it's a red flag. That is unusual in Trofeo Pirelli. Ah, there we go. Right, okay, there we go. So it's only a car in the gravel. That doesn't look too bad to me. It's McCarthy. We got the last bit of this off. So let's have a look. Great job from camera crews to get the whip on, and that is turn 10 on the run down the hill. So he's dropped it after you got the corkscrew, rainy curve, then turn 10. Stuck it in the gravel trap on the outside there just before coming down to the finish. So that's a shame, because we might have seen a quicker lap, but to be honest, Tony, I think at that point in the session, probably it was settled for these guys.
Yeah, I think we saw the most of the performance that, I mean, the lap times of the leaders are in line of their performance in practice. Massimo Perina able to be those 3/10 faster than the others, and then very close between Roberto Perina and Dylan Medler. Johnny Kaminsky, we saw on his last lap, he just went through the dust of the car that left the track. And yeah, Massimo Perina continuing his very impressive qualifying performance that he has had during the season.
6th pole in a row, and as you say, yeah, it is his 9th pole in 11 races. I mean, that is epic, isn't it?
Yeah, we've discussed with you also a few occasions the performance he had last year with the 488, and we were really hoping him to upgrade with the big boys with the 296 Challenge car, and it took a little bit of time in the beginning. There was a few errors in the beginning of the season. Performance was more or less there, but now he's super dominant, and he's in the performance loop that he was last year.
It's business-like, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all business, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally done. Right, we're waiting for our next session to head out on track now that Pirelli is done. Of course, there will be a few moments for us. Yes, there it is. Just a little celebration, because he knows that the rest of the day is where the hard work has got to be done. But Perina, wow. Go get him, Jan. Go get him, Jan, he says. Jan Bernier in the background. Fantastic. Yeah, 9 pole positions out of 11 races. That is his 6th pole in a row. Took a couple of laps this morning in the cold conditions. The car looked twitchy, but Massimo Perina's got it done with a 122.726. Roberto Perina, his uncle, will lock out the front row with him for Ferrari of Seattle with 0.3 of a second back. Medler missing out on the front row by just 0.05 of a second in P3. Kaminsky on his return, the 16-year-old, don't forget, in P4. Then it's Ethan McWilliams, Brian Cook, Tony Davis and Jason McCarthy. 1.6 seconds across those top 8 drivers. Massimo Perina, the pole legend, it seems, is with Nina Jade Paul now.
Pole legend is a lovely description, Andrew, and quite accurate. Not only are you on pole, but you're leading the championship by 43 points. Just how important was qualifying today?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, in this championship, and especially on a track like this, it can be difficult to pass sometimes, so grid position is paramount.
You've been on impeccable form all season long, it feels, and we've discussed previously just how important momentum is. What's your game plan for the race, Massimo?
Carry that same momentum. I mean, just like we said before, it's a momentum game, and I feel like I definitely have it at the moment.
Go well later.
Thank you very much.
Super chilled, super business-like. 9 out of 11, 6 in a row. Perina with the pole. Here's a lovely slow-mo of him on a big old push. And the car just looks fantastic. So it did look pointy, but a fast car is not always an easy car. On to Shell Am. If you're new to Ferrari Challenge, there are 4 categories. So you've got Trofeo, Pirelli and Copper Shell, and then each of those has an Am category as well. So you can climb the ladder, Tony, and you can come up through Club Challenge. It's a pretty good way to get hooked into motorsport. You know, there's, well, maybe I could just go on one more season. I could go up one more level. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, Ferrari has built a beautiful system, starting with Corso Pilota, where it's more teaching how to behave on track, how to improve your driving skills. If you are keen to continue, Club Challenge, like you mentioned, Club GT, and then if you want to race against other drivers, then you start with the Shell Am, you perform well, you go and be promoted to Shell, and so on. So based on the lap time, based on the experience and the results, then you are promoted to the next category by Ferrari.
We have seen some people promoted during the course of the year. I mean, there was, I can't remember who it was, somebody took a win at Daytona and was immediately promoted. So we've seen Bruce Cleveland and Ernst Kirchmeier have both gone up from Copper Shell to Pirelli Am during the course of the season. Ernst came along in Daytona, got pole, P1, the fastest lap, and they're like, yeah, I think we'll have to move you up immediately, which is unusual, isn't it, to be fair? But also, yeah, if you come along and you smash the category you're put into or that you choose to go into, then, yeah, you're going to need to move up. Some wonderful liveries here at Ferrari Challenge. As always, the cars are looking beautiful. I can see a few scuff marks out there on one or two where they've obviously either had a close call with a wall or some K-rail or maybe another car, but they've been testing for a few days. That's to be expected. We had a great chat earlier with Mitchell Green, and he was saying about a particular section of wall that he'd had an argument with, hadn't he? And he'd made a donation to the track for them to extend the tyre wall, and then one of his who was it that he said, was it Jan? I can't remember. He said he went off there and he's like, well, you have to extend the tyre wall, mate. So they're all chipping in and extending the tyre walls around the place. It's lovely to see these drivers giving back to the sport as well, to be fair. So it's cool to come here and do your own racing, but when you go, you know what, actually, yeah, I can give back as well. I think that's a really nice touch from our drivers. Great bunch of guys and girls. We've got plenty of female drivers in this as well. We've got a ladies' cup and a gentleman's cup, as well as the 4 different categories. And say this is the 6th race weekend over here in the USA. Another doubleheader, so this rounds out 12 events, and then they head for a doubleheader at Mugello this year, isn't it? I think for Finale Mondiale.
Yeah, that is another beautiful event where our Ferrari Challenge drivers worldwide gather together, and then we have the World Finals as well. A lot of activities on track, but also outside the track. New streetcar models, activities for the families. It's a beautiful event. Normally a lot of crowd. I think the biggest years we've seen 50,000 people at the finals. Normally a showdown with the F1 cars as well, and just a beautiful event.
Yeah, great stuff. We were lucky, weren't we, at Miami to see one of the Ferrari races weekends where we had 499 Modificata was there, with some F1 cars there as well. It's a proper celebration of a beautiful brand. Great series over here. Top work from the whole team at Ferrari USA, Matt Dusenbree and Manuel Marchi heading it up a course, and a big team of people who've worked hard all year. So big thank you to everybody who's put in so much effort to make the tracks look so cool. The TV guys for working so hard in the rain, in the dust, getting the cameras out, getting the gear ready in the wind. They're always there on top of the grandstands getting the pictures for you guys. Everybody from hospitality who's looked after us. In the background we've got a spin in the warm-up lap. That's a nightmare, and that'll be an immediate stoppage to the session, I think. Or reversed out, yes. Good job.
That was quick.
Good job. That's Lewis Flory. So Lewis has been flying recently. He'd be disappointed with that, but it's cold tyres. Now dusty and cold tyres, but thankfully Lewis gets it back out of the barrier. And another one as well. That is Steve Check. So Steve Check tapped the wall or no? So Steve's got to get that revert, and it is a red flag. That's a disaster, isn't it? Now, will they stop the clock or let it run? In the background, you can see the Check's got to get out of the car. So that is a shame. It's a red flag before anyone has even completed half a lap. 2 drivers spinning on cold tyres. Okay, Check's got a tech issue. So he is out of the car.
Yeah, low TC position, so low number on traction control, cold tires, brand new tires, and then just a little wake up for these drivers.
Yeah, a big wake up.
Yeah,
I think a big wake up.
Yeah, immediately after few corners. We have more cars on track in this session, so the chance to run into the traffic, get a red flag or somebody's off is way higher. So also very convenient to try to post a lap time early in the session to avoid the situation that towards the end you run into a trouble, you didn't have a clear track, yellow flags and so on.
It's to be fair, this is Shalom. Obviously, it's the drivers who are climbing the ladder, if you like. But both Steve Czech and Luis Floria have done a lot of racing. They know what they're up to. I just think it's a good sign that it's cold out there. The fact that I've not seen the Pirelli drivers take 3 laps to get up to speed this season and still have a twitchy car at that point. So it's cold.
Yeah, the conditions are a bit more difficult. But also for the driver to go out in the qualifying, maybe the main focus for these Shell Lamb drivers was just trying to beat the lap time you did in practice and not be really patient enough to wait for the tire temperatures to go up, and not enough concentration in the right place early in the session.
So I've had another lovely message from Shay Adams saying, Tony had an IMSA pole at Laguna in 2017.
I didn't remember.
Yeah, she said, ask him about the feeling of being the best in quali in a Ferrari. There. Thank you, Shay. That's fantastic. That's a sign of Shay's knowledge and history in American motorsport. Yeah, but that must have been great, mate.
We drivers, we just remember the crashes. We don't remember the pole position.
Don't remember the poles. Shay does, 2017.
Wow. I didn't remember that. So this is a track that always suited me quite well. I like the rhythm, I like the flow. Maybe at that time, at that age, I didn't have any fear. So I was going for it. Also Ferrari in general, in multi-class GT racing, this car, of our Ferrari cars and different models, mid-engine cars, so the balance between the front and the rear axle, how the Ferrari cars use the tires, this track really suited us in the past, and I still think it does. And combination of a little bit of courage, very fast race car, and then just go for it.
That is the Ferrari Corral in the bottom right of your screen, and then up top left is Casa Ferrari. So it's on the outside of turn 3, the bridge up to the top right there, the Ferrari branding up the side of it. That's over the start-finish line. And then we've got some outdoor hospitality areas there. It's a little bit chilly for outdoor hospitality. Yeah, beautiful line there. Those are the cars used for tuition, I believe.
Yeah, those cars, I think they're running a Corso Pilota next week.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
So those are the cars that the Corso Pilota we mentioned just a few minutes ago is where you get the first steps. How to behave on racetrack, what to do, what does it mean, late apex, late braking, going down with the gears, use the gearbox, downshifting, and improve the braking. Here we see that the team is increasing the tire pressure.
That's Flory who had the small off, yeah.
Because of the experience you got from the 2 categories before when they were posting the fastest lap times. Probably in the practice sessions the other days, temperatures have been higher, so you could run a low tire pressure and get still a lot of performance. And now you need to create heat and grip to the tires by increasing the pressure.
So this is going to be really interesting, Tony, but bearing in mind it took the Pirelli guys 3 laps to get the tyres up to temperature.
Yeah, also 6 minutes left.
Exactly. Yeah. A quick lap time here is a 1:22. Now, if you're warming your tyres up, you're looking at what 3 laps is going to be 4.5 minutes. I think they're in for 1 flying lap with the tyres up to temperature. Flory,
and then there's the traffic. We have 20 cars on track.
Yeah, exactly. Flory's car, it's a bit dusty, but he's all thumbs up and happy enough. He said, dust me off, let's go. Put me in, coach. Let's go again. There's Ed Vartugian. He's ready to go as well. Look at that. I love it when you get down to the corners of the car. You just see the little battle scars from where you just come across somebody in turn 1. And we've still got, look, there's a piece of machinery on the run through turn 1. They need to get, and the clock has changed. Nina Jade, what have you got for us down in pit lane?
Well, we know the time on quali, it says it's currently 6 minutes left, but when the session restarts, they will get 10 minutes. So there'll be 10 minutes on the clock when it goes green.
Thank you, Nina Jade. Sensible decision from race control. Just because the temperatures are low, these guys are not going to get temperature until lap 4. And with 10 minutes, that means potentially they've got 6 or 7 laps, so that will give them a much better shot at finding some clear traffic and clear track and trying to get themselves underway. The clock is paused as well, which is good, so that means we can get the machinery cleared up off the track. I suspect they're down there now with the dust blowers. That shot always freaks me out. I like it. It's great work, but I'm like, which way up am I? And the 360 twist, but it's great work. I say, and seeing the cars up close like this is beautiful as well. There's the big front splitter across the 296 Challenge cars. Up the side, the mirrors. That's the most regularly lost piece. He's only tapped it. What are they doing? They're checking if it. Okay, they're going to move it. They're going to pull it back out, make it straight. So look at this. You get the forks underneath it, give it a little tweak, pull it out this way a little bit. They'll want that light. Yeah, you can see. So behind the chap in the high-vis jacket, you can see there, and they're just trying to nudge it. They're happy with that? Yes, they are. So they're potentially making sure it's still linked up. So there's lots of little metal clips behind the wall which hook the fencing and the wall together, and that little nudge was enough to make sure that everything was engaged where it needs to be. So Czech must have made it all the way to the wall, but I don't think that was what. Yeah, the damage was at the rear. We'll see if we can catch up with him before we go racing and find out what's going on. Spin, you think, Tony? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe he tapped with the rear and then the car spun again. I'm not sure.
Beautiful livery on Stephanie.
But 2-3 mistakes coming out from the pits.
Yeah. Well, they'll know now, won't they? If the coaches weren't on the radio before, they will be on the radio now. There is Stephanie Herfield. Her and her husband Matthew both racing together. They were very close in the points before. Let me have a look. Yes, they are P11 and P12. Matthew is on 142 and Stephanie is on 141. So that's going to be an interesting breakfast table, isn't it? There's a point for pole position. Come on, Stephanie. Go get that pole. But, yeah, lovely to see her and Matthew racing together and having a great time sharing a passion in Ferrari. Well, we are nearly ready to go. Just a quick lean in now and chat with the drivers. There, a look inside the engine bay of the 296 Challenge. These cars have the hybrid part removed from the road car, and that's to save weight effectively, because obviously the hybrid gives it incredible power, but in a race car we're also looking for a faster change of direction later on the brakes, and there's obviously different tuning to the engines as well. So the spec is different from the road car. It's kind of focused more on racing, and so it should be. 1 minute we're hearing to green flag, and then we can get these drivers back out. Not necessarily ideal, Tony, that they've had time to sit there and think about things.
Hopefully it was a good time to think, be ready, concentrated for the qualifying session. Now the clock is up to 10 minutes like you mentioned, so I think it will be a normal session. You don't really need to rush the issue. If it would have been 4 or 5 minutes, the story would have been different, but they have almost full session. Also a good call from the race director to give these drivers a fair chance to perform in this qualifying session.
Yeah, 6 minutes is not enough. So 10 they've got, down to 9.5 already as they roll out from pit lane. We were talking about the car spec just a few moments ago. It's a 2992cc twin turbo engine, 120 degree V6, 700 horsepower. They are fast. I think that's something which we don't always talk about, Tony, but they are fast. For a one-make series, they're weapons.
Yes, these cars are very, very fast. When we, as GT3 drivers, when we jump into a challenge car, the first thing you notice is the acceleration and the power these cars have, because actually in multi-class racing IMSA we have way less horsepower because of different rules and different specs, and it comes through Le Mans and the speed and the torque and whatever. But here these cars in our single make class all are Ferrari Challenge cars, so Ferrari is free to develop their own race car, decide the rules and do the spec they feel is the best option, and here is definitely a lot of power. Handling with the 296 Challenge car is improved a lot. The gap between GT3 cars and Challenge car is way more narrow than it used to be, and also for our Challenge drivers to jump into a GT3 car, it's easier now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're coming down in terms of power, and obviously the finesse of a GT3 car is a little more than a challenge car. And some of the drivers, in fact, drive the GT3 car in the sessions in between,
Even
don't
here,
they, to stay
even
sharp?
Here,
Yeah.
even here with the Club GT.
Yeah.
I think Ray Acosta, Mitchell Green, I think they've been on track with the GT cars as well.
You were looking at Melissa Kozira just a few moments ago. She's in the 108, and you also saw the graphic of her. I saw her at breakfast this morning. She took a pole last time out in damp conditions in Watkins Glen. Was really impressive in those tricky conditions, and was disappointed then to lose out. Come the start, here she is now with the black, blue and white livery, the one you're looking at right now, the 108. But she's excited. She was here last year in Club Challenge. She was here for the testing, and she's feeling good. So she'll be hoping to put in another good lap and get herself up to the front. I was talking to Gary Otter. Here's Lewis Flory. Lewis has had a couple of poles this year. Yes, he has. Actually, no, the one pole, but he's had 3 wins. So he's been very impressive. So he had that early spin in the first attempt at this session, and will want to try and find himself some clear track. But yeah, talking to Gary Ott yesterday, Gary's had the pole a couple of times and then has been swamped at turn 1, and he's getting frustrated. But he did also say it's part of the learning curve. You know, getting pole is the first bit, then defending pole in turn 1 is the next thing you have to learn, isn't it? So you've got to get pole a few times before you've got enough track time to learn how to defend it in the first corner.
Yeah, qualifying, a single lap performance is completely different than what the racing requires. How you choose your line in going into turn 1, where to brake, how much space you can leave to the other drivers, and when not to leave space at all, when you need to block, cover your line, and so on. And those things, the race starts, they teach you, they learn you how to improve, because people are running into you, probably braking too early often, and that creates another problem. So we've seen some traffic now, still a few drivers on the warm-up lap, but ideal would be to gain some space, have a clear track for a full lap to be able to perform at the best level.
Indeed. So we've got drivers who are on their out lap who are going relatively slowly compared to those already on a fly. You saw Fabian Sperma make a pass. We were watching Gabe Grimm a few moments ago as well. They're already halfway through this session, and they're only 2 laps in once they've been round on that super slow first lap. There's Edvard Hugin in the 143. Lance Corley here, P4 at the moment. He's 1.3 seconds off, so Corley with a 131.939. Matthew Herfield leads at the minute, 130.5, so must have heard us talking about the championship fight between him and his wife. He's on the pole at the minute. Let's see where Matthew's been this year. He's qualified 7th, 6th, 9th, 9th, 13th. But both Matthew and Stephanie haven't actually raced with us since Miami. Move up the inside here, nicely done. It's Gabe Hribb. And he's gone quickest as well. So Gabe Hribb quick out on track and making moves too. Gabe is your championship leader. He is on 312 points ahead of Michael Owens, who's on 296. And then Lewis Flory on 260, so it's tight between Hribb and Owens. If they want to win the title, they have to go to the Finale Mondiale in Italy. Some of them, Tony, will ship their own cars, and some of them will do a deal with a European team. And there are, you said, some European teams operating in the paddock here as well in the USA.
Yeah, there is collaboration between different championships. Obviously, the European Championship is quite high level. There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of technical information, and there is some collaboration between the teams in Europe and here in USA, but also teams here in USA running their own program. And normally that world final is really great to see, almost a full week of racing, but also when you put different championships from different champions from different championships together, and the racing, and to see who is going to be the world final winner. That's quite interesting.
The level's going to be high, isn't it? We're seeing Flory come up to the line. He's P4 at the moment. Yeah, you take the top drivers from each of those series, and there's definitely, Flory does go top. So Lewis Flory to the top of the table by 0.098 of a second. So literally just a tenth of a second, 0.002 of a tenth of a second. Sperman is third. We've got in P6 is Luis Peruskia. I think is new this weekend. Or move up the inside in the final corner. It's Lance Corley making a pass. Slotted up the inside of Jeffrey Keel. The 117. Yeah, you'll be at the Finale Mondiale, won't you?
Yes, I will be there the whole week. And yeah, there's a lot of action. We drive some cars, we do a parade. We do also commentating there, either in Italian or in English. And yeah, a lot of stuff to do, a lot of things to see. Yeah, it's a great event. Normally it means more or less the ending of the season, so everybody is in a quite good mood. Maybe a few gala nights as well, so everybody's quite chilled.
Yeah, it should be yeah, good. Well, maybe not the drivers, but everybody else involved, yeah. Great onboard there with Stephanie Herfield through turn 1, up over the crests. Gives you a good idea of how quick the run is. Like you're rotating through that long left-hander, back on board now.
Yeah, this is turn 4 where you need to just carry a lot of speed. It's up to the driver to judge how much tap the brake or not, how much you need to load the front tire to create some more grip on the front tires. And all these corners now, we start to go uphill. Very difficult left-hand corner where you need to carry again a lot of speed, and then you go up the hill towards the corkscrew. So a track that you need to have a really nice rhythm, go through these corners and trust your race car as well.
Over the line. Sperman is at the top of the table.
Oh, there's
contact and to the inside. Just holds on and manages to spin the car away from the wall. A fantastic awareness to miss the wall there is a good job.
Wow,
It
was Corley.
Yeah, Corley on the outside.
And they were doing it side by side the whole straight line. And then just under braking when there's that little kink towards the left. Both cars were pointing the same way, and then there was a contact just around the area of under braking. Now you see here. Whoa!
And there it is.
Yeah, I think Corley just didn't leave enough space, and really lucky to avoid the concrete wall.
It's Williams who's lost out there with the contact.
Yeah, that was close.
Really close. I say to flick the car back the other way during the spin was a good effort, because you can get fixated with the wall there, stay on the brake, and then you're only going one way. So yeah, the unfortunate victim there. Lewis Flory with a pass up in the first corner and only 9 seconds remaining. Unfortunately, that's probably compromised this lap. Here we go. Corley coming round for the end of this lap.
He had to overtake drivers at least 2 laps in a row, and now he's taking the flag. So he had a little bit of traffic and also the contact. I think he improved actually. He's into P8.
127.1. So despite the contact, checker flags out, and we've got drivers still circulating. Enjoyed the onboard with Stephanie Herfield. I have to say, I want to see an onboard through the corkscrew, because that just gives you such a good driver's eye view of what that's like. Stephanie rolls back into the paddock now. That's her on the right hand side of your screen. And Kay Pribb as well, making a last minute dive in. I think lots of people here deciding the last flying lap. Flory has gone with the last flying lap. So Flory on the outside over the line now. The white and blue car at the front of your screen, currently sitting P6. And stays in P6, doesn't improve. His best was 126.3. That was a 126.8. But we saw him make a pass here in turn 1 on the start of that lap. So we knew the lap was a little bit compromised. There we are. Coppershell Am done. Fabian Sperman taking the pole. It's Sperman's 3rd pole of the year. Both the other times he's been on pole, he has converted to a win. 1 in Daytona and 1 in Indianapolis. Melissa Kozira gets P3. Another brilliant job by her in qualifying. So impressive. Start of the year qualified 12th, 8th, 5th, then 7th, then 4th, 3rd, 6th. Pole last time out and 3rd again now. So Melissa has just got the bit between her teeth, and she's doing a fantastic job in the second half of this season. Always smiley and super friendly in hospitality, and always a pleasure to see her out on track doing such a great job. But there it is, the pole man. Fabian Sperman. Quick tap on the dash as they pull the, yeah, thumbs up. Good job. Chef's kiss as well. So Fabian Sperman for the collection. Climbing out of the car. Very happy, and rightly so. His third pole this year. Can he make it his third win? He's converted the previous two, so don't count against him converting this one as well. I'm sure Nina Jade's on her way down there now to have a catch-up with him. Good job. Good job. Take a look at the results from that session as the green flag falls on our final qualifying session, which is, of course, Coppershell. Coppershell AM's pole sitter is Fabian Sperman. As we just said, his third pole of the year. Previous two went on to win. Michael Owens is in P2 here, and he's in P2 in the standings. Melissa Kozira, third on the grid, fifth in the standings. Gabe Hribb, your championship leader, is in P4. So he is on the second row. Paul Lynn, Lewis Flory, Tom Petromolo, Lance Corley. Good recovery from Lewis Flory after that spin at the start of that session. That's your top 8 for Coppershell AM. Edvard Tugin, Henry Hummel, Matthew Herfield, Lewis Peruskia, Wai Lau, who I think Peruskia and Lau are both new drivers this weekend, and then down for Gomez, Kiel, Williams, and so on. Coppershell are out on track, as you can see. They're having their little warm-up laps, which will be a good time for us to go and find Nina Jade in a minute, as soon as she's lined up Fabian Sperman. That's Jarek Bilicek in the 1-2-2. Another super nice guy who's learning the trade, always friendly and smiley when we see him. Nina Jade's got Fabian Sperman, his third pole of the year.
Absolutely, Andrew. Fabian, your third pole position of the year. Maybe your third win a bit later today. How are you feeling?
Good, very good. That's great laps. I don't know which one was the good one, but in general it was a great session. I learned to love the track. I come here without knowing the track, and I love it. This is a great spot.
You came here without knowing the track, and you've gone and got pole position. That is amazing. You've got Logan Sargent as your driver coach. What advice has he given you?
A lot. A lot. Logan is great, and all the advice that he's giving is helping me a lot to improve and get better. Part of the pole is kids and my brothers supporting me, and family, the team. But he's doing a great job helping me improve my driving skills.
Congratulations. Go well for the race.
Thank you.
Oh, lovely stuff. Great celebrations to the team. It's always good to see it, isn't it? Big smiles all round. Say, he won both the previous times, Tony, from poles. So like, he might have another go. There is Mitchell Green. Mitchell Green is locked in that championship fight and is looking for a way through because he needs a bit of space to do a clean lap. Jan Bernier is his big championship rival. Here comes Mitchell Green now. But at the minute, no way through. Oh, and he looks to the inside. Mitchell, be patient. Now he looks to the inside again. This time he does get it done over the green. Good stuff. He's got to find clear track. He's got to do it early in the session. Go for it. Get stuck in.
Yeah, he wanted to create that space in front of him. And a few corners where it looked a little bit
dicey.
Yeah,
yeah.
But now he managed to overtake the other car, and maybe he's going already early in the session for a fast lap.
We do know it's taking a few laps to get up to temperature. The temperature now, the air temperature is 15. It's still cold, Celsius that is.
And you can also feel, like yesterday, the little moisture,
humidity,
humidity in the air. So that has been tricky for some drivers. They've been on track with the cold tires, so.
Bilicek fastest at the moment, the 1:31.6, but that will come down. Did we have a time for this session? We haven't made a note of what it was earlier. And I'm not going to take the time screen down now to go looking through old results, but we know they'll go a bit quicker than this. Yeah. Been a brilliant fight this year, hasn't it, as well, between Mitchell Green and go on, 46.
Yeah, we talked with Mitchell, so he said he was down to 1:24s, I believe.
Yes, you're right. See, that's a racing driver. They always remember the lap times.
But they also take a few tenths off, you know.
Yeah,
if it did 1:24.5, it was low 24.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot.
I like Mitchell. Do you remember Indianapolis when he was texting us because he'd made a mistake and he was cross with himself, wasn't he? He was just like, look, I'd take it on the chin. It was my fault. I was terrible. He's a good guy. He was great fun this morning. All smiles. And just looking, he was like, I've got to go. I need to go and get in the car. I think he was driving the GT3 car, wasn't he? And that's literally sort of 40 minutes before this, so he will be match fit.
And we have mentioned before that he goes out also with Scuderia Corsa on a single-seater. He has a GP2 car.
Yeah.
So he's on track often and wants to improve his performance, and he's really. You can see that he really thinks about his racing
all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
All the time. It's very much an obsession, as I'm sure is his business life. That you don't get here without having a good business life. And he's a very switched-on guy. Loves the simulator too. Has plans wants to do Daytona in future. Like he's
very dedicated.
Yeah, which is great, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm actually looking forward to next year and seeing who moves up a class. And then how they get on when they go up into that next class up. You're looking at Mike Chen. Prior to that, we were having a look at championship leader Jan Bernier. Bernier is now, if I remember correctly, the only driver who's been on the podium at every single event this year. Let me check to see if that's correct. Yes, it is. Well remembered, Andrew. Very pleased with my pole position to me for remembering things. I do have stuff written down in front of me, so that is a lie. But he has been on the podium at every single event this year, and that level of consistency, as well as the speed, obviously, that's why he's leading the championship. Mitchell Green's been there as well. Chuck Whittle goes quickest, 1:26.0. Gary Ott goes in behind 0.3 back. Bernier is in third. Mitchell Green is in fourth. Mitchell Green back to the point, 1:24.4.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, so that's what he said this morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Green's now, he's really on it. Can he go quicker than that? And now he's put a second between him and Carroll, who's in P2.
That was a good lap from Mitchell Green.
Yeah.
Even considering Pirelli Amp did a 1:23.4, so
really
good lap time. Suddenly everybody improving their lap times a lot, so
tyre temps are up.
Yeah.
And they got their eye in. Mike Chen again, Ferrari Newport Beach. Great to see the FIA branding on all the cars. I was with Carol here coming up the hill, speaking to the marketing team from FIA yesterday about their involvement with Ferrari Challenge, saying how much they enjoy it, how much the racing motorsport, it's new for them. They've been a big sponsor of tennis, things like the US Open, so they operate at a very high level, and they've chosen to come and join Ferrari Challenge. Great partnership with them, super enthusiastic about motorsport, keen to learn all about it, want to be a part of it, love the prestige of it. So it's great to have them along this weekend. Jan Bernier, P2, 4/10 off, so he halves the gap now. Gary Ott has also gone in underneath that pace of Roy Carroll.
Yeah, Mitchell had a slow lap, cool down lap, 6 seconds slower than his P1 or his leading pace. So trying to control those tire temps a little bit, and then I had other go for a fast lap time.
So Gary Ott, I saw yesterday, you're looking at now, was up for trying to get the pole again here. So he's had, how many poles has he had? 2 now. He had one in Indy and then one in Watkins. He was disappointed, I'd say, both times to have lost out in turn 1, but he also accepts that it's part of that learning curve, as we said, and he really wants to be at the sharp end of the grid again. Races really well. He knows he's got the lap pace. He's just got to get more aggressive / defensive, whichever way you want to look at it, in turn 1. Whoa, on the exit, big slide there. Chuck Whittle in the fantastically chrome liveried car over the line. He was P4. Does he go quicker? Yes, he does. P2. Chuck Whittle, 0.3 of a second, 0.4 almost of a second off through the last corner. Jan Bernier, 2 minutes 47 remaining. Bernier coming up to the line. He was P3, 0.4 back. He goes to pole. Bernier goes quickest by 1/10 of a second, 1:24.2. So if Mitchell Green has done a slowdown lap, he needs a good push lap now if he wants to nick that pole back. And remember, there's a point in it as well. And Jan Bernier leads him in the points by, what is it, 9 or 11 points? My maths is terrible. It's 11 points. It will be 12 if he can hold on to that position. Is Mitchell still circulating? 1:24.9, so he didn't do it on the last lap, Tony. Here he is.
Yeah, he has one one more try. I feel that this lap is either the one, or then he doesn't have the tools for the pole. Very surprised to see Bernier to catch up Mitchell Green's lap time, and
That was a good lap by both of them.
yeah, very good lap time.
Mitchell Green still pushing. You can see the nose of the car dives as he gets on the brakes.
He's running into traffic.
Yeah, he mustn't catch the car in front, must he, before he gets there? Who's it in front? It might be Belichick in front. And Mitchell Green at the minute is some 2.2 seconds quicker than Belichick on outright lap pace. Oh, he's going to catch him right here at the end of the lap. This is a crucial part of the lap. Green on the throttle early, but he may well be compromised here as he comes down the hill. He looks to the inside line. If he goes offline, Tony's definitely going to compromise the lap time, and I think he's bailed.
Yeah, he needs to back off now, because otherwise he will lose also the next lap.
So you think he'll go for one more?
I think yes, but he needs to really leave the gap.
So Mitchell Green rolls off. Is he going to go for it? He does, yeah. Oh, he's going to get in the way here if he's not careful. So Mitchell gets back on the gas just in time. One last dance then for Mitchell Green. With 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining, he's going to cross the line with just 60 seconds on the clock. This will be his last flying lap. He's in the championship fight with Jan Bernier. Mitchell Green has to push now. This one's going to be inch perfect. And he runs deep in turn one, and that's probably the lap over. Gets back to the second apex. You have to take some big risks in this lap, Tony, now, if he wants to take that lap time.
Whoa, he's all over the place.
Go on, Mitchell.
Really using the track. You can see that he's on the limit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe a bit too much.
Yeah, sure, but we want to see it, don't we? We don't know. I don't want to see him come round and not go for it. So Mitchell Green with a mistake in turn one will probably they have a display on the dash, Tony, so he will know whether he's up or down.
Yeah, that's true. There is a predicted lap time which shows plus or minus. If you are minus, you're improving your own lap time, and this is. He left a little bit of space at the exit of that corner, exit of turn 6.
Yeah, onto the Rahal straight. Here he is up a corkscrew from the drone. What a wonderful shot into the left. Not too far. Get on the gas, pull it back to the right-hand side through the long left-hander. Now this is rainy curve. I think he's maybe. You think he's maybe bailed, Tony? I think he's still on it. He's still going to go. Turn 10, coming up for 11 now. Mitchell Green runs over the curbs on the outside. Pushes to the final corner. The checker flag is out. Jan Bernier is the target with a 123.9. Mitchell Green lights up the Pirellis on the exit as he runs down to the line. The checker flag falls. Has he gone quicker? He does go quicker, but it's not enough. 124.1. Brilliant by Green with a mistake in turn one. It was an untidy lap, but it was flamboyant. And it was a great effort at getting back there. Mitchell Green, unlucky. P2, 0.2 of a second behind Bernier. What a brilliant finish to the qualifying session. And go on, Mitchell Green. That was a sendy lap.
And top 2 drivers on the last lap, they were both on it. Because if Bernier hadn't improved on the last lap, if the pole position would have been in Mitchell. Yeah.
Would have gone to Green. We didn't see that, did we? So Bernier, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, on the last lap, both of them got the best lap time. And 2/10 difference only.
Absolutely brilliant. So Bernier and Green going toe-to-toe on the last lap. We were lucky enough to watch Mitchell Green with that big attack. But Jan Bernier out there. And you know what? It could have been turn 1, Tony. That could have been all it was. 2/10 is nothing. And Bernier got it done under pressure. What a great fight between the 2 top drivers in this category. 2 guys who I'm almost certain will move up from Coppershell to Trofeo Pirelli after this year's performance.
I think Jan Bernier was celebrating inside the race car.
I bet he was.
Like, yeah,
I bet he was.
Yeah, Mitchell's lap, it was very easy to spot that there was a lot of determination. Attack. He was on it,
yeah.
But maybe not the cleanest lap.
Exactly.
So you always have like, maybe I had the 2/10 there.
I get it. I want to see it though. You know what I mean, don't
yes.
you? You know that Mitchell was in there with again scruff of the neck.
Beautiful to see.
Brilliant response by Mitchell to go quicker than Jan Bernier had gone, but Jan Bernier was still out there getting it done and dropped into the 123s, a 123.977 on the final lap of the session. Jan Bernier denies Mitchell Green, who'd gone quicker than the previous pole by Bernier on that same lap. One mistake in turn 1 was that it. Gary Ott gets P3, Chuck Whittle 4th, Roy Carroll, Stephen Chen, Mike Chen, Brad Evans are your top 8. Fantastic session. Joel Rose, William Naranjo, Osvaldo Gaio, Andrew Parker, Jarrett Belichick, Javier Rodriguez Borgio, and Mike Lully take us down to P15. And I think that's the end. Yes, it is. Wow. What a fight between Bernier and Green. What a shame we could never split screen and see both of them on that final lap, because that's an epic. There he is, Bernier. Great job by Jan Bernier, Ferrari of Seattle, of course, teammate to Perino, who was down there earlier going, go on, get after it, and he did get after it. Got it done on that final lap. That's one of the most impressive ends to a qualifying session I've seen. What a great performance from Jan Bernier and Mitchell Green, his championship rival, on the final laps here, duking it out. And Jan Bernier, the pole man, is with Nina Jade Paul now.
Yes, I am with the pole sitter, Jan Bernier. What a lap. Wow. You and Mitchell were going tooth and nail there. What was the key to mastering this circuit?
I had to fix all the mistakes on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then get power on 11. I knew Mitchell was going to be close. I had to push really hard. I met the Mitchell wall earlier this week. I almost met it again, but we got around safely, so he and I are going to have a good battle tomorrow. Super, super excited to be on pole, though.
I was going to say, you are leading him in the championship by 11 or so points. Yeah, a small margin. What's your plan for the race?
I mean, I think got to get to the end safely. Consistency has been the key all year. Same thing. Not going to do anything crazy. Just get through the race.
Go well. Good luck.
Thank you.
Jan Bernier over the moon. He fixed all the corners, Tony, didn't he?
Yeah, that was funny. I just needed to fix corners. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, everything. Look at the line he took through the corkscrew over the curbs on the inside. It was maximum attack from him and Mitchell Green. I'm pretty sure everyone down in Casa Ferrari would have had a brilliant view there of turn 3, and the drivers really, really pushing. Brilliant qualifying session here at Laguna Seca. Of course, we're going to do it all again tomorrow, but we've got the racing to come up later on today. So we've got qualifying and a double header each day, a race for Trofeo Pirelli and a race for Copper Shell. If you'd like to see the racing action today, you can join us at 2 p.m. local time. We're on the west coast of America, so 1400, 2 p.m. local time, and you can join us for Ferrari Challenge North America, the final weekend here in the USA before they head across and tie up the championships in October at Finale Mondiale. My name's Andrew Coley. Thank you to Tony Villander here in the booth with me, Nina J. Paul down in pit lane. We'll see you at 2 p.m.